to go here in Florida as we look forward to 57 laps of F1 racing.
The Miami Grand Prix arrived onto the calendar in 2022 with much fanfare, and F1 history is still very much being written here. Drivers have to take chances around the street circuit and hope those chances turn into victory.
Miami has long, tight, straight sections that need as much driver confidence and precision as a corner, as well as 3 hard braking zones. The chicane through turns 14 to 15 is particularly likely to catch drivers out and throw them into a wall. The teams are making their final preparations down in the pit lane, ahead of today's race.
Alrighty, so here we go. So we're forecasting heavy rain for today. So let's go ahead and skip to this. Oh, wow, okay. Huh. That looks quite interesting, actually. So we're starting in the dry, and we're expecting very heavy rain through here, but it dries up. Now, I'm curious why it thinks it has to go onto the hard, or the full wets for Ricardo, but only the inters for Aerosmith. That's kind of a bit of a weird one for me. Yeah, I'm not sure what the case is here. I think we do an equal strategy for both drivers. So let's get rid of this stop and bring our inters back to about here. Because these inters will last. We don't really have to care about them too much. So we're predicting 23 to go on to the inters. So let's call this one 23 as well. But this is going to be an evolving strategy. Okay, fine. So we're going to start on a set of mediums for Ricardo. And for Aerosmith. On lap 23 to a set of inters. And then we're predicting lap 41 and lap 42 for a set of softs for both of our drivers. So it's an identical strategy that we're running on both cars here. We are, as normal, going to underfuel our cars. So Miami here is 1.9 kilograms per... So as a safety margin, we'll say... Yeah, okay. This guy's butt looks a bit weird. Which one? There's a few butts I can see on screen. Okay, alright. So we've underfueled car number 1. Let's underfuel car number 2. And then what tires do we have in reserve here? Let's have a look-see. Look. I don't know what you mean, look, Mono. There's lots of butts on screen. There's my dude over here, there's my dude here, there's my dude over there, there's my dude behind my face. Okay. Alright. I'm not gonna pause, I'm not gonna halt this screen to discuss stream to discuss butts. Okay, so in terms of our sticker tires, we have soft, 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 medium, medium, hard, And one of the mediums is accounted for, one of the softs is accounted for. With 3 sets of wet, 3 sets of inters. And we have a scuffed set of medium tires. And 2 scuffed sets of inters. That's for Ricardo. And for Aerosmith, Jesus Christ. Okay, alright, interesting. So we've got soft, 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 medium, medium, hard. Medium, medium, hard. So we've got an extra set of softs for Aerosmith, which is interesting. And then same again, we have 3 sets of wets, 3 sets of inters, and 2 scuffed sets of inters. Fine. Okay, alright. Alright, that is our planning and preparations done. Without further ado, it is time to start the Miami Grand Prix.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. This could be a big race for that man, right there, Lewis Hamilton.
9th is a fairly good grid position. If they make the right calls, they could well score some points.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. Here we go with the Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oh fuck, I forgot to fucking set up our drivers. Always defend, always attack.
Just try to defend as we can.
Okay, push, push, deploy.
We can still do it.
Push, push, deploy. Okay, right, we completely forgot to set up our fucking drivers
Overtake available.
for the start of that one. That was ever so slightly annoying. So we'll burn off stuff for 1 lap and then see how we go. As it stands, both of our drivers are maintaining their status quo. Ricardo remains 16th, Aerosmith remains 20th. Actually, it does look like Ricardo is trying to queue up a potential overtake on Pierre Gasly, but we've backed right out of it. Backed right out of it. So during the sprint race, we did see a red flag appear for a collision. This being a street circuit, it is quite tight, it is quite windy, so you can basically any significant accident that would cause a safety car can quite easily cause a red flag as well, which isn't ideal. Okay, we're starting to overheat these tires, so let's come off the fuel use here. DRS is now enabled. So we're going to come off the fuel use and we're going to come off the tire burn and see what we can make of this. So Ricardo is on medium tires, as is Pierre Gasly. Albon behind is on the harder tires. So hopefully this should keep... this should allow Ricardo to pull away from Alexander Albon, which would be quite nice. Meanwhile, Kevin Magnussen on the soft tires should actually be quite a threat to Raven Aerosmith. In terms of track details, wow, okay, so this is set to become... oh, incredibly wet. I don't actually think we can do the inters in this. I think we're gonna have to pull in for a set of wets. Okay, let's actually do that. Let's adjust this strategy here. So I think we go for a set of wets. Update strategy B. Because looking at how rainy that gets, That is wild rain. Unless that changes. Yeah, unless that changes, I think we are pitting. I think we're pitting for wets every single day of the week, because that is a crazy peak. That is like a fucking torrential downpour. I think it's probably the changeover is probably going to be on lap 24, not lap 23. But we'll just keep our eye on it and watch this as we get closer to the situation. So Leclerc, the only front runner on soft tyres, is currently leading the field from his teammate Carlos Sainz. Despite a slightly harder compound, Sergio Perez has just set the fastest lap, and the two Ferraris are side by side. Coming into, where are they? They're coming into the opening complex. So Carlos Sainz has taken lead of this race from his teammate, who is desperately trying to claw it back so he can make use of the softer tyres while he still has the tyre life advantage. I am quite curious about these softer tyred cars, because trying to go 24-25 laps on a set of softs is going to be quite interesting. If they end up pitting, yeah, it's gonna be quite wild actually. It's gonna be quite wild. Oh wow, there's a 4-car battle right for first place. We've got the Red Bull and the Ferrari absolutely side by side with Oscar Piastri trying to get on in this mix as well. This Sainz and Leclerc are just absolutely fucking hoping that this doesn't end up in tears. Meanwhile, in Hibble F1 news, Daniel Ricciardo has managed to find his way past. And that wasn't even DRS overtake, I don't think. Alrighty. Nice. So this puts us up into 15th place for Daniel Ricciardo. A little bit of a check. Right, go away. Aerosmith is still in 20th place. And Magnussen has really taken 10% off of his tyre life there, trying to keep up with this lot. See the sparks in the distance there. Yeah, so there's Hulkenberg. Sorry, there's Magnussen. I keep calling it Hulkenberg. Magnussen has really dropped off the pace. Good grief. Good grief. Oh, a little bit of side-by-side action there. Okay, our ERS is now empty, so we're going to go back into top-up mode and see what we can do here. Let's see how this... Oh, wow, okay. So Carlos Sainz has been able to pull a bit of a lead away from this little gaggle for third place.
Honestly, I don't think we can do much
more. But all of the cars are quite nicely close together. I think the only one who has any breathing room is Zhao, who has just, as we clicked on him, been overtaken by Daniel Ricciardo. Let's see how this happened.
Good job.
I said, let's see how this happened. There we go.
Let's take a closer look. And we're watching Daniel Ricciardo. The opportunity begging to be taken.
So, once again, not a DRS pass. Ricciardo is getting it done even without the DRS, which is pretty good. And that puts Daniel Ricciardo up into 14th place. Now, Zhao seems to be quite slow, given that he was 4 seconds off the pace of George Russell. And he's on the higher compound, so hopefully, hopefully, this pushes him backwards to provide Ricciardo a bit of a gap. But unfortunately, Zhao comes back at Ricciardo on the DRS and actually sneaks his way past. So Daniel Ricciardo's got it all to do it again. Coming into the longest straight on the circuit, Daniel Ricciardo is going to get an absolute beast of a DRS zone. So Zhao's wing is not going to open, but Ricciardo's is. So coming into the DRS zone, Ricciardo already was lining up the overtake. He's already side by side, and then the DRS kicks in. It is a very, very clean pass. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Okay, good job. So it's currently P14.
So Ricciardo resumes 14th place. We do have one more DRS zone to go here, so Zhao's DRS is going to open. Daniel Ricciardo goes for the block. And it was a nice block, keep Zhao behind, and this should allow Daniel Ricciardo to pull away through this opening complex of the lap, hopefully getting enough distance between himself and Zhao that when we get into this first DRS zone of the lap, we can make things work. Aerosmith is still technically hanging on to Alexander Albon, but we're not really making that much in the way of progress, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the Ferraris are once again swapping positions for the lead of this race. It is an absolute gaggle as they are about to come into the start-finish straight. And lots of little battles happening up and down this track. Unfortunately, F1 Manager doesn't have a camera like you can get in iRacing, where it's like, you know, automatically focus on the best battles, like an AI director kind of thing. I love the inclusion of like so many marshals in so many different places. Quite often when you see like video games about racing, you'll typically have like 1 or 2 AI marshals at a marshal's post. But here they're like literally everywhere, as you would like find in a Formula 1 track, which is quite nice. Max Verstappen down in 4th place now sets the fastest lap of this race, showing that the medium tired cars are definitely posing a threat. Zhao with the DRS looks like he is trying to catch up to the back of Ricciardo, but can't make anything happen. And Alexander Albon has developed a mechanical fault. Can we find out what it is?
Why are we clipping so much? It's like crazy.
I don't know what clipping is in Formula 1 context, but Alexander Albon has an issue, so this might give Aerosmith the chance to catch up to the back of Alexander Albon and get past. We will just have to see. But for just now, things are progressing quite nicely. Oscar Piastri has dropped all the way back down to 5th, so we now have the 2 Red Bull racing cars in 3rd and 4th, desperately trying to hunt down the Ferraris, who are not getting away at the lead of this race. We now currently have a 5% chance of rain. When are we expecting the heavy rain? It was about lap 20, yeah, about 23. So if we do see rainfall now, our anticipation is that it's not going to be particularly heavy rainfall. So let's just hope that it passes for the time being. George Russell is side by side with Valtteri Bottas, trying to get the move done. Bottas is going around the outside. Russell has got past, but can Bottas come back at him coming into the DRS zone? Bottas is going to have the DRS. He's going to get the run. He's going to try and go out the inside for the starting of this lap. And he gets it done. He gets it done. Aerosmith at the potato end of the grid has found her way past Albon.
The final corner. Can they squeeze by?
I'm pretty sure I saw that wheel no clip through the other wheel. I'm pretty sure that's not entirely legit. Okay, fine. Whatever. So Aerosmith now moves up into 19th place. Russell is again relegated down into 12th place. Russell getting past both Bottas and Ocon would be quite good for us, but I'm not entirely sure if it is necessarily going to happen. My goodness. Despite his car woes, Alexander Albon is right on the tail end of Aerosmith here. And he's got the DRS. He might try and come back at Aerosmith now. Indeed he is. He's going to go for the inside line. But Aerosmith will have the inside line for the next corner, which he uses to go wheel to wheel with Alexander Albon. It's a lot of toing and froing, a lot of toing and froing. They are side by side. It's anyone's guess as to who's going to get the DRS zone here. So she loses the position, but she is technically going to be behind, which means she is going to get the DRS. The only problem is that she does not have a good run here. Or does she actually? She might have already been side by side with Alexander Albon. Indeed she was, and she does pull ahead once again. This is fine. Something's pinging at me and I don't really know what it is. Zhao and Gasly are fighting side by side. This might slow them up to allow Aerosmith to close down this 2-second gap. And actually Iwasa, having overtaken Kevin Magnussen, is now close to the rear end of Alexander Albon, which should also give Aerosmith hopefully some breathing room. Russell still can't seem to find a way past Valtteri Bottas, and both of our Ferraris are still fighting neck and neck. Leclerc got the DRS, but got the overtake done really, really early coming into this first DRS zone. We can see he was already ahead still with his DRS open. So he's now pulled out almost a 1-second gap to his teammate Carlos Sainz, putting him into the hands of the Red Bulls. In fact, it's now over a second, so Sainz might not get the DRS zone here. Indeed, he doesn't, and Perez does. So this is potentially going to be 2 positions lost for Carlos Sainz. Or it would be if Verstappen was going to make the move, but unfortunately he wasn't. Hulkenberg finds a way past Ricciardo. Let's see how that happened. This looks like it's at the tail end of a DRS zone. So it's around the outside, and Ricciardo just leaves that door open. And Hulkenberg sails down the inside.
You know I'm going fast, mate.
So Hulkenberg now is in 14th place, having stolen it from Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo is going to get the DRS here when that opens, which is going to allow him to pull away from Logan Sargent and hopefully catch up to the back of Hulkenberg. Meanwhile, Aerosmith got overtaken by the injured Albon. Oh, so this started much before that, and then Albon just gets the inside line. However, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as they went over the line, Aerosmith had the DRS there. Indeed she does. So she uses this to do an absolutely colossal friggin' dive bomb to get into 19th place. And both of our drivers now retake the positions that they just lost. It seems no matter where you are in this field, this is just a continuous cat and dog. Cat and dog swapping of positions left, right and center. Approaching lap 10, so we have underfueled our cars by 1 lap, so I'll need to do some fuel calculations next lap and see how it is we go. Car behind has got DRS, so this is the first DRS zone. Hulkenberg once again has DRS zone. Ricciardo has been able to hold on to like 7% of his tyre life more than Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg is using that tyre life to his advantage, and that was pretty clean actually. Ricciardo could have done a lot more to stop that from happening, but
Honestly, I don't think we can do much more.
meh.
Okay, head down, no problem. Sergeant behind you.
Do you know what I want to do here? I actually want Ricciardo to push his ERS. I want to burn this ERS a little. Oh wow, okay, Jesus Christ, Aerosmith has dropped right past. Okay, both of our drivers are going to use their ERS. I want them to use this ERS to get those positions back and just push into the middle distance. We don't necessarily know what ERS they've got, but I want to open up a 1 second plus gap to Hulkenberg. Leave Hulkenberg and Sargent fighting, and let's go after Russell if we can. If we can, we're going to go after Russell. Aerosmith has now closed down half a second onto Albon. So we're now back within DRS zone, so we're going to use this ERS to hopefully try and catch up to the hard tyres cars, which are now side by side. So let's see if we can't make this happen. And I really want to see Ricciardo use this ERS to eke out this gap. I'm slightly wary
Update on
about...
tires when you can.
I could give him a little bit more tire, actually.
So far, so good.
How are we doing for this one?
You can push on tires. We're good on tires.
Oh, for fuck's sake, okay. I give him ERS, I give him tires, and he still loses the position. God damn it. Aerosmith, meanwhile, I'm more than happy to give some tires to, because she has caught right up to the back of Zhao. With the ERS, that didn't take long at all. God, this is an absolute Tom and Jerry race, is what this is. Fine, grab some cheeky screenies. Boom. Okay, and the Tom and Jerry-ness continues. So Ricardo has the DRS coming into the long start-finish straight, and he ekes out quite a bit of a gap, which is cute. Hopefully that's going to be enough of a gap to allow Hulkenberg to not come back at Ricardo during the start-finish straight. And the soft-tired cars are diving into the pits.
Keep an eye on the battery.
So this is interesting, because they're now putting themselves through another stop. So Sargent and Magnussen are in, and Charles Leclerc at the lead of this race might have to come in again. So that's going to give Aerosmith a free position. Okay, I can't do this for too long on Daniel Ricciardo, so I really hope I just eke out this this gap a little bit more. I want to see it over a second, which it now is. But I want to see it over a second after the DRS zones. After the DRS zones. Aerosmith is all over the back of Alexander Albon once again, whose fault has now resolved. She's got the DRS, she's trying the outside line, but it doesn't work. She's filtering in behind him. She tries the inside line, and they are now almost side by side. She'll take the inside line. And we've got it. We do have it. Yellows. Yellows somewhere. I think it's these two cars that have taken a knock together. I guess we'll find out soon. Can we see anywhere that has yellow flags? I wish this was like... No, I know you guys can't see the map because my face is obscuring it. But I do wish this was like the actual kind of Formula 1 apps. Where it shows you the part of the map that has the yellow flags. Anyway, whatever. We'll see the replay in a little second. I'm pretty sure these two have had a collision now. Let's wait to see. There's still yellows.
And now
okay,
we've had a crash.
let's see what happened here. So this was Iwasa and Zhao. So they're side by side, and that's a knock into the side pod. So Iwasa may have some side pod damage there.
And you can just feel the frustration from the team
So
watching
the team
on the
go
monitors.
to check the data, make sure the car is still technically operational.
2 cars out.
Well, I don't know if they're out.
We have possible debris reporting, but we don't know where.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know if they're out, but we'll need to see. So Sargent and Magnussen have gone to another set of softs. This, I think, is actually quite a ambitious strategy. Oh, and Albon finds his way still ahead of this. Okay, I don't want to destroy Aerosmith's tire wear any more than this. And I'm not out of ERS, so we'll need to put that one back onto charge. Okay. And I'm not going to burn any more of Ricardo's resources. We've given him a few laps now to try and get this gap up to 1 second, and we've not been able to get it to
Drop
happen.
down the plates now.
I can't keep destroying the tire life because as much as I can in terms of tire wear versus when I expect the rain to come, I also am conscious that I want to keep as much tire life compared to my competitors as possible, because burning tire life to hold an advantage doesn't necessarily mean anything if I hit the cliff and they just overtake me later in the stint anyway. In terms of forecasting, we're still looking... Okay, our forecast predicts a lap 23 changeover, so it's come forward by 1 lap. And we're now on to lap 13. So lap 13 will be... Whoa, that was a dive bomb. That was very almost a collision there, Hulkenberg. What the fuck? Jesus, that was chaotic. Okay, let's call it 44 laps to go. Fine. Okay, so let's go to the leaders. So,
Okay.
Ricardo is doing a Delta 2.
That's okay.
For 70. So 70 per 2 is 45, and we have 44 laps to go. So we're predicting Ricardo to get overtaken at the end of the race, just by current Hail Mary math. Aerosmith is 3 seconds slower, so she is Delta 3. The lap difference here is only 60. So she'll get overtaken in 20 laps.
So we have P14.
So we're predicting her to get overtaken at lap 33. Yeah, so we're predicting Aerosmith is going to go a lap down. So this means Aerosmith now moves on to fuel strategy -1. But Ricardo, for the moment, is going to stick on fuel strategy 0. Fine, okay, I can work with this.
Okay, head down. We keep focusing.
So Ricardo and Hulkenberg are cat and mousing. I'm just gonna leave them to it. Neither car is getting a particularly good advantage over the other one. Aerosmith lost a place to Albon. I think my main concern is the possibility that I may have to double stack these cars. There is more than a 7-second gap between them, so I can make it work, but now that we're coming towards the end of lap 14, let's take stock of this race. So Charles Leclerc has just overtaken Max Verstappen for lead of this race. Verstappen now in second, Perez in third, Carlos Sainz is in fourth, Oscar Piastri is on his own in fifth place, Lando Norris in sixth, and Yuki Tsunoda in seventh. All those drivers are currently on their own. Lewis Hamilton is in eighth place, fighting off from Lance Stroll, with Fernando Alonso in 10th, absolutely on his own. Valtteri Bottas is in 11th, having just found a way past Esteban Ocon, and George Russell is following the pair of them, still unable to find a way past the two slower cars. Hulkenberg is in 14th, being handed down by Daniel Ricciardo, and the good news is this gap's gone from 3 seconds down to 1.5 seconds. So as these cars continue to squabble, this is hopefully going to provide an opportunity for Hulkenberg and Ricciardo to close up. Pierre Gasly is on his own in 16th, with Alexander Albon 5 seconds adrift, and Aerosmith unfortunately has dropped off the pace of Albon. Zhao and Iwasa, both carrying battle damage for their collision earlier, make up 19th and 20th, with our two soft stoppers of Sargent and Magnussen in 21st and 22nd respectively. We're now at a 15% chance of rain, and we're expecting it to be about... Yeah, okay, this is definitely coming down. So we're still expecting lap 23 to go over to these full wets, I reckon. And Ricciardo now finds his way up into 14th place. Unfortunately, our squabbling is slowing down us two more than these two squabbling is slowing down them two. It is still a four-way battle for the lead of this race between Verstappen. I was about to say Leclerc. Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, and Sainz. We're going to see Leclerc with the DRS open, soft tyres, sails down the inside. I thought he actually glanced the wall there. That wouldn't have been very good. That wouldn't have been very, very good at all. So track conditions, they are side by side. Verstappen with the DRS open was already side by side with Leclerc. and he finds a way to slot inside. Perez very almost found a way inside as well. Yeah, the amount of rubber and grip that we have down on the track is not great right now. Hulkenberg once again just finds his way past Daniel Ricciardo.
Honestly, I don't think we can do much more.
Oh, you're okay, Ricciardo. You've got another DRS zone coming up here. You just need a good run. He's got the run. He's got a good run down the inside, and he's going to have the inside line for the opening complex. And Albon's fault comes back once again. Is it the same issue? Yep.
Why are we clipping so much?
Yep, so it's the same issue. I think this is a gearbox fault, the clipping. I'm pretty sure this is a gearbox fault. So Albon has once again redeveloped his gearbox fault. So hopefully this will allow Aerosmith to close down this distance and overtake, although Zhao is right on the back end of her, which isn't ideal. Let's see. Okay, Hulkenberg is outside of DRS, so for the first time, Hulkenberg is outside of the DRS zone, which is pretty damn good for us. Yeah, this is pretty huge, actually. I'm in disbelief. I'm waiting to see if it stays this way or if we've actually done what we've been trying to for freaking ages. Let's see. So it's 1.3 seconds is the gap, and this is the big DRS zone. So if Hulkenberg loses out here, which it does look like he is going to, so this is pretty good. Yeah, this is definitely good. Okay, our percentage of rain is starting to shoot up here. So we're currently at 0% chance of rain, we're coming into 15% chance of rain, going up to 35% chance of rain. I wish I could compare this to millimeters. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I wonder if this is only going to be a tiny bit of need for the wets. We'll need to see. We'll need to see on that front. Yeah, so Hulkenberg has not got himself back into the DRS window, and his tires are rapidly approaching the cliff. Ricciardo is now within 1.5 seconds of Ocon in front of him, with George Russell having finally found his way past. So hopefully we can continue closing down this gap and make something there. Oh, and Hulkenberg got a lightning fast run. He is actually back into DRS zone once again. He's in fact right on the tail of Daniel Ricciardo. Jesus Christ. Hulkenberg like a bat out of hell there. God dang. And for the first time in this race that I have been paying attention to, we have a Red Bull 1-2. So the Ferraris have been quite royally usurped for the start of the race here. Now, if something happened that we had a red flag, that would really mess up our strategies. Because if we go to red flag, we have no real way of seeing like what the rain is, what the rain's going to be doing. We just have to guess a tire and go with it, which isn't necessarily ideal. But yeah, we'll just have to take it from there. So Ricciardo is right onto the tail end of Ocon. In fact, as we glance at Daniel Ricciardo, he just sails clean past Esteban Ocon at the tail end of a DRS zone. And the damaged Ocon has about the same tire life as Hulkenberg, so hopefully this will be a good battle for these two, which is going to allow Daniel Ricciardo to pull away. George Russell has finally found his feet and found a way past Valtteri Bottas as well, so we'll just have to see how this goes in time. Aerosmith is still very much fending off Zhao, although not really finding a way past herself. Okay, I have ran out of juice, so I'm going to leave you with the dulcet sounds of Formula 1. Let's stick with the battle for second place. There we go. There's Aerosmith getting overtaken by Zhao. While I go and fetch me a drink.
Yep, this is my pace.
Keep the head down. Okay, so now behind you is Ocon. Good job.
Alrighty. Alright, we are back. So Aerosmith just said that there is definite rain starting. Which there definitely is.
Just head down.
I kind of want to use our leaders as scapegoats here to see whether they go onto wets or inters, because I think if this is 1 mil, if that's 1 mil, that's 2 mil. I think it'll barely get
Rain is coming.
wet enough for full wets. I was so sure about it at the start of the race, but actually I'm not so sure anymore. Meanwhile, there's been a lot of trading of places. Aerosmith finds a way up into 18th now. No, sorry, she lost a place from 17th back into 18th. And Albon is 5 seconds ahead of her. Good grief.
Good job.
Ricardo's up into 13th. Lots of fighting for places. Okay, so we now need to really watch this to see what the leaders do in terms of in-pit. Leclerc has really made these soft tires work. Really made these soft tires work. So the decision at the moment is going to be whether we go into inters or full wets. We're definitely going to need to change our tires. But we'll need to see what it is. We're still going to be double stacking our stock, but the gap between our cars is currently over 10 seconds. So even a bad stop for Ricardo shouldn't hold up Aerosmith too much. So pretty happy with this one. Ricardo and Hulkenberg are just absolutely side by side. This is crazy. Fine, so we're now at 0.4 mils of rain, so the soft tires are getting some traction, but the rain is coming down fairly heavy at the minute, and it is set to get a lot heavier within the next 2 minutes. So we may start to see some of these guys come into the pit. Let's pay attention to the leaders. And is any of them pitting? No, everyone's staying out. Everyone's staying out for the minute. I'm not really sure that I want to make the call because I'm in two minds between the inters and the full wets. So rain percentage. So if this is 0.5... Oh no, this is inters. This is inters all day long. Yeah, okay, this is okay. So if this is the percentage mark for 0.5 mil here, then yeah. I think this is inters all day long. But we'll definitely need to see. We'll definitely need to see. For the moment, we're just going to hold cautiously. I think Leclerc is going to end up being the first one into the pit for a new set of tires. Mainly because his tires... Actually, no, Perez. Perez, despite being on a harder compound... Oh, God, I thought that was almost going to be a safety car. Right there, Jesus Christ. So yeah, Perez, despite being on a harder compound than Leclerc, has actually got less tire life. He's been eating those tires. He's been absolutely demolishing rubber, and despite the increasingly heavy rain, it is still very almost 3 wide there for first place, which is crazy to see. Is any of these leaders going to dive into the pit lane? Verstappen is. Okay, let's see what these guys do.
Right at the moment.
We need to pit this lap, we know that. It's inters. Is anyone inters? Okay, it's inters for all of our cars. So, actually no, I need to be on this view, don't I? Okay, pit option inters this lap. Pit option enters this lap.
Box.
Alright, let's just burn.
Okay,
Burn. So I expect almost everyone is probably going to pit this lap.
Okay,
There's a couple that have stayed out. So Perez has stayed out, so Noda has stayed out. I want to get in. I want to get off these tires. So Bottas is in pit. We're gonna come in to get in pit.
Pit lane.
Take it easy in the pit entry.
And let's see where we get with this one. So we're all on inters for just now. Looks like it's good stops for everybody. A few cars have continued to stay out, so let's watch Ricardo's pit stop. This needs to be quite good because Aerosmith is in the pits. It's not a particularly fast stop, but it's not a disaster. We don't lose any places with this one. 15th fastest pit stop of the field. That was a bit miserable. Let's watch Aerosmith's pit stop.
So it's currently P14. Ahead of you is Bottas, by the way.
A 2.8, okay, that's faster.
Get back behind.
Is
3
faster.
seconds.
So we don't gain anything in pit stops, unfortunately. But we don't particularly lose anything. Oh no, well we lose 1 place because Albon has decided to stay out on the harder tires. But you can see already he is getting completely ganked by the cars that have taken on the inters.
Tires are good actually.
Understood.
Okay, so we are forecasting, in terms of tracking, we're forecasting to come back off of these around lap 40. So let's go ahead and edit this strategy real quick. So let's add a new stint. We'll call it soft tires, and this will be, let's call it lap 40 for just now. Great strategy A. And we'll do the same thing for Aerosmith. So add a new stint onto soft tires. And we'll call this lap 40. So back onto the race, Bottas is absolutely sweeping past Alexander Albon. There's no way he can stay out. He is going to have to dive into the pits. And indeed he does. So this is going to be a free place for
Okay,
Daniel
keep it down,
Ricciardo.
Okay.
And our ERS battery is empty, so let's go into top up
We need a bit of
view
recharge of the battery.
here.
Understood.
So the track is definitely getting wetter and wetter. Ah, Tsunoda and Perez went onto the full wet. Now that's interesting to see. That is very interesting to see. That might be something that we might need to keep into the back of our minds later. Now this is a bit unrealistic because with this much water on the track, I don't really think there would be this. I don't think there'd be this much like tire overheating. I think that's probably quite, not massively true to life. But then you know what the fuck do I know? So yeah. Perez on these full wets is probably going to be quite slow compared to the other cars, I would guesstimate. Because the wets won't come alive until the track is twice as wet as. However, the rain is absolutely caning it down. It is absolutely demolishing the field. So these wets could end up coming alive. We might end up needing to do another stop here for the wets. But we'll try and follow the field and see what they do.
Okay,
Rain is indeed increasing. It's going to be like an absolute skate track over here. Okay, so after the first round of pit stops, now that the rain is caning it down, Verstappen is in the lead of this race with Leclerc and Sainz second and third. Perez is nearly 2 seconds off the pace in fourth, fighting off Lando Norris, who has just overtaken him. Perez being the first runner of the wet tyres. They're still side by side. Let's see if they can't make anything go past. You're an idiot. You spent 20 minutes trying to get Centaur. The browser tab was muted. Well done, Noswell. Well done. Welcome back. Okay, so Norris does secure fourth place from the wet-tired Sergio Perez. Oscar Piastri is in sixth place, who is absolutely on his own, as is Lewis Hamilton. Lance Stroll in eighth, Tsunoda in ninth. Then Alonso, Russell, Bottas, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, Aerosmith, Sargent, Albon, Zhao, Iwasa, and Magnussen. Currently, there's only one real battle going on, and that is this battle for fourth place. I'm cautious about these tires overheating, so let's try and cool them off a little bit.
Okay, maximum focus on cooling down those rear tires.
Yeah, let's try and cool them off a little bit. So we're getting very, very close to full wet territory here. Let's see how we're doing for track condition. So we're only a few more laps before the rain kind of peaks. So I expect we'll probably get to about 5 or 6 mils of rain, which I'm not sure is going to be wet enough to go onto the wets and stay onto the wets. But we'll watch the field and see what they do. So right now we're going to work on cooling our tires. I do want to see what our leaders do as we come around this corner here. Yeah, so we're starting to see this rain cool down, slow down quite a bit. It's about 0.01 mil every second, as opposed to like 3 every second. So it has started to come down a little bit here. And wow, look at that. Because of the overheating, look how much life these guys have taken out of their wet tires. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So the reason why you don't want to put wet tires on intermediate conditions, like if we zoom into, well, you can't really see it so well, I suppose, but like intermediate tires have blocks as opposed to being entirely slick. They are triangular with grooves down the side, for kind of high speed dissipation of water. When you move on to the wets, there is more blocks, and when it's wet, that's fine, it just means that it shifts more water. But when it's damp, those blocks have so much motion and they're not being cooled down by the water, they heat up quite a lot. And yeah, the heat just destroys that tire life, so that's crazy. Let's go back up into aggressive tire use for just now. So now that the track conditions are full wet, we are going to see these guys' tire wear not really come into it as much. But however, we are probably ideally too wet for inters. But I don't think it's going to be worth changing. Because it's heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain, and then when we hit lap 30, we're confident that it's still going to be raining, but the rain goes to light rain. So we've only got another 3 laps of this. Anyway, we now have 30 laps to go until the end of this race, so let's do another lap time calculation. So the leaders are currently 1 second a lap faster than Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah, 1 second more. Yeah, they're roughly 1 second a lap faster than Daniel Ricciardo. And at a 150, they are 45 seconds. So it'll be 45 laps. So Ricciardo is still on a lead lap strategy. Aerosmith she's got a delta of 2. And she is currently, how long is it until she gets lapped? Oh, that's a red flag. Damn it, that was Aerosmith. Well, I don't have to worry about her fuel calculations anymore. God fucking damn it!
Now we see this was at turn 15.
She just loses the back end on the curbs, I think. Yeah. It sends
their confidence will have taken a hit with that.
Sends the front of the car around. God damn it. Are we out, or can we get repairs on the go? Peas diets. So it's currently damp. So we get 20 minutes. So Aerosmith does retire, so I was in the middle of her fuel calculations, she's retired. Major damage to the chassis and unable to restart the race. God freaking damn it. Okay, so the game recommends we go on to soft tires. And I'm inclined to agree because that was a heavy rain shower. So soft tires, and if there's no more rainstorm, we'll probably need to do one more soft tire stop until the end of the race. Or do we do hard tires? Because I either do 2 soft tire stints or a hard tire stint. So there's what, 27, there's 30 laps to go. In theory, if we're careful, this set of softs could last, in theory. Alright, let's go on to the softs, fuck it. So all the cars are lined up in the pit lane.
It's time to pick up where we left off, as the race restarts.
So we've got a real mix of tires here.
Lights out, and away we go.
We focus on the car ahead now.
Alright, let's just burn this tire use.
Let's lift off, please.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so track conditions are still damp at the moment, but it is going to dry. And if we look at this, yeah, okay, there's going to be none of this stuff going on. I'm actually slightly regretting going for a kind of double stop strategy here. I'm really tempted here. I want to see with the strategy. So if we do soft tires... Okay, so conserve is the only way for me to make it until the end of the race on this set of tires. I'm really tempted to do that. So let's just push us to conserve.
We look after the tires.
Now let's see what we do. Slight regret not being on the mediums, if I'm perfectly honest. We're up into 12th place. That's so unfortunate about Aerosmith. Aerosmith is actually having a halfway decent race.
Good job.
Okay.
P12.
So track condition is now dry. So we're going to keep us on full fuel use and full ERS use for the moment, and see how we go. All of the cars in front of us are very fast cars. Oh, look at that for a view. Yeah, dang. Beans. Missed that one. Whoa! Jesus Christ, that was a dive bomb.
You can use the ice.
God, that was a crazy dive bomb. I don't actually think we get DRS during this first start-finish straight. I think it's going to be on the second one. Currently 12th place is a good place for us, but I want to see these guys really eat their tire use, because right now all of these soft-tired cars that are eating through their tires are probably going to end up having to stop again, which isn't necessarily the most ideal thing in the world for them. So if we hold on to our tire life comparable to the medium tire cars, who are definitely going to the end here, I will overtake all of these cars when they don't have like when they stop for their pit stops. Of course, the alternative is that during a hard defend, Ricardo crashes in, or Ricardo gets crashed into, and then we don't see much of a difference.
I think we can do much more.
Fine. So we're in a different. I think we're in a different race from these guys, all things considered. Like we can see after one lap, we have already eked out 6% tire life difference, and we can see people like Yuki Tsunoda, Perez, Norris. They're doing a similar strategy to me in really trying to conserve this tire life. So we'll have to see how this goes. Oh, Ricardo on the DRS manages to get past Hülkenberg. And this is really good for us, because the more attacking we make Hülkenberg do, the more we absolutely demolish his tire life, which is going to be better for us because we force an earlier pit stop, and we just keep the advantage to him. Hülkenberg, whether he overtakes us or not, I don't think is going to be a threat to us. I think Gasly is going to be our big threat from behind. And Tsunoda is definitely our big threat in front of us. Fine. So with the red flag, the fuel usage calculation becomes irrelevant because we're not going to burn through this much fuel before the end of the race. Alrighty then. We'll see what we make of this. This could be quite interesting because we're quite tantalizingly close to Tsunoda. So if this little three-way battle keep fighting in the way that they are, we could potentially, if we are lucky, see a 10th place finish. for Ricciardo. We would have to be very, very lucky because I'm confident that we could get in front of Yuki Tsunoda. Their car is somewhat comparable to ours, faster, but not considerably so. Russell is going to be a hard ask, but he could make a slip up. He is on a harder, like, compound car. You know, we could really, really see a 10th place here. And Ricciardo is right onto the tail end of this group, so this is exciting. This is exciting. We've got roughly 25 laps of the race still to go. Ooh, exciting! Oh dear. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we can see Hülkenberg is continuing to demolish his tires. So after 3 laps, we have close to a 10% tire advantage over them. So given that I'm already marginal, I don't see a world where he finishes the race on these tires. So I think we can write him off. So now we're going to follow Daniel Ricciardo as we try to get DRS. Apparently Hülkenberg did not get the DRS trigger. No, he did. Okay, the game lied to me. The game lied to me. But we're right on the tail of this little group that's gone into a 3-way battle for 9th place. Sorry, a 4-way battle for 9th place. Good grief, what an absolute maelstrom this has become. So there is now a 4-way battle for 9th place with Alonso leading Yuki Tsunoda, George Russell and our own Daniel Ricciardo. It's fast becoming a 5-way battle as Nico Hülkenberg catches up into the back of this train, and Alexander Albon's mechanical fault is actually worsening.
Guys, we're derating. Cost me a lot that time.
So D-rating, I think, is going to be an ERS issue. So we know he's already riding a gearbox issue, and we now know he's got an ERS issue as well. So this is going to be quite fascinating. We've got George Russell just in front of us. We've got the DRS closing up onto the back of him, but there's nothing else that we can really particularly do here. We have a new fastest lap from Sergio Perez.
Keep the head down.
As we have a side-by-side battle for 2nd place with Lando Norris just stealing it away from Charles Leclerc. Oh, look at that beautiful view. I do love the visuals of this game. It annoyed me the catch fencing was somewhat in the way there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So the other big exciting thing from my setup change is that I am now 4K gaming. It doesn't really make much of a difference for streaming because Twitch only allows for 1080p streaming at the moment with 2K coming soon. But yeah, in terms of my gaming, I'm now up to 4K. So in terms of my screenshot work, I am pleased to report that I will now be producing some banging high quality screenshots, which I'm very, very excited about. So we're up into 12th place for Daniel Ricciardo. We still have George Russell ahead of us, but we're not really able to make much in the way of considerable gains. And actually, in particular, Nico Hülkenberg has caught up into the back of us. And he has... oh no, he's not. I just forgot how to tell numbers. I was actually looking at Bottas's numbers. But yeah, we've still got a 10% tire life advantage. I think he is now conserving his tires. I think he's realized... So if he is planning on not stopping again on these soft tires, I don't think, yeah, I think he's going to hit the cliff before the end of this race. So I still think there's a lot of racing still to go. Ricciardo didn't get the DRS there, which allowed Hülkenberg to use his DRS to catch up to him. Ricciardo will get the DRS coming into the start-finish straight, which is now.
Our next one is Hülkenberg.
Or not? Do we have a DRS fault, or is Ricciardo just not using it?
That's okay.
That's slightly annoying. So we lose the place to Nico Hülkenberg, and actually we've got a 1 second drop. I think this'll. I think this'll change. I think we'll catch up to Hülkenberg again, but this little battle here has started to thread out ever so slightly. The exciting battle is for 2nd place between Perez, Norris, and Leclerc. We see Lando Norris with his DRS open, but cannot find a way past Perez. And we are fast approaching 20 laps to go here. exciting times. Aerosmith. Why did it have to be Aerosmith?
Okay, so in front of you is Hülkenberg.
Okay, hopefully Daniel Ricciardo catches into the DRS zone here.
Keep your head down.
I think we do. Oh no. 1 second. Oh, I think we were just outside of it. That's painful. Oh, that's painful. So Hülkenberg gets the DRS. We're within a second, so we get the tow, but no DRS. Let's try and use the tow to catch up to the back of Hülkenberg. If we can stay within a second, we'll get the DRS here. But we can't stay within a second. Ricciardo is dropping back. That is really unfortunate. Is that Iwasa and Verstappen? No, okay, right, that's fine. Oh, this isn't good. Ricciardo needs to do a lot of work to try and catch up into the backside of Nico Hülkenberg. We do still have the tyre life advantage, so I think this is going to come to a head towards the end of this race. Hülkenberg is, like I said, Hülkenberg being in front of Daniel Ricciardo is not really that much of a consequence, because Hülkenberg is either going to have to stop again, or he is going to have to finish the race having hit the cliff. So this will do one way or the other. I think Daniel Ricciardo is going to get past. So right now we'll just see what he can do. Ideally, he would get in front of George Russell, hit the cliff, and allow Ricciardo to get past both of them. Yuki Tsunoda being in 10th place isn't ideal for us, because RB are one of our competitors. They're already ahead of us in the championship, but yeah. As we can see, Yuki Tsunoda getting past Fernando Alonso there. Again, not ideal for us, but he does have the softer compound tyre. Does have 10% less tyre life, so again, once we get below 50%, we're going to see this tyre wear issue coming to something of a head, which will hopefully allow the opportunity to back up Alonso and Russell into the path of Daniel Ricciardo. Apparently we're gaining on Hülkenberg, even though we're 2 seconds adrift from him, who does get past, who does manage to find a way past them. Now, here's the thing. If Hülkenberg gets 10th place, this is a huge problem for us, because as much as Team RB are a close competitor, Haas is a direct competitor. So if they score points and we don't, this is really not good for us in the long run. So we'll need to see how this goes. For the moment, we're holding our own. Bottas isn't catching up and has more than 10% less tyre life than we have. So we're currently happy with this one. We're happy for these guys actually to just keep squabbling and slowing themselves up and burning their tyres. We'll have to see how this goes. It is now a 4-way battle for the lead of this race between Verstappen, Perez, Norris and Leclerc. We are on the long start-finish straight where everyone and their dog gets DRS except Verstappen, who is now overtaken by his teammate Sergio Perez, but still manages to hold on to second place. So this absolutely cat and mouse dynamic that we seem to have had this entire race so far seems to be quite determined to continue. There's also a cat and mouse battle for 5th place between Piastri and Sainz, between Stroll and Hamilton for 7th place, and then we start getting into a pair battle between Tsunoda, Alonso, Hülkenberg and Russell, with Ricciardo currently sitting quietly trying to catch up into this. We're going to put Daniel Ricciardo into top-up mode so that we can use ERS for, say, the last 10 laps of the race. Maybe 8 laps, actually. We'll see. We'll see. So we'll go back into top-up mode. Bottas has taken 1 second a lap out of us, which I'm not too worried about, because the tyre difference is like 11%. And yeah, Hülkenberg is eating tyre life. Our tyre use is comparable to the hards and mediums, so I'm actually pretty happy about our tyre usage performance right now. Yeah, pretty happy about this for sure. For sure. And we also have enough left in the tank that we can just use our tire use in the last lap to hold any gaps that we might be able to build up. I'm guesstimating at this point that the rest of the soft runners, with the exception of Perez and Norris, so I'm confident that Perez, Norris, and Ricardo can go to the end of this race. But I think every other soft tire user is probably going to have to stop again.
Okay.
I mean, they're not. Our tires are super cold. But yeah, I really think we are going to have to... these guys are going to stop again, which means they are going to lose 24 seconds on a green flag stop. If we get a safety car, I would stop as well, for sure. Like, there's not even a single question in my mind. You're sniffing the points. Your face says it all. I might be. We have to make one overtake on merit in order to get the points, because if we lose Yuki Tsunoda and Hülkenberg, that would put us to 11th. So we would still have to make one overtake on merit in order to get into the points. But you know, it's a sniffing distance. Hülkenberg and Russell are absolutely scrapping, which is good. It would be an absolute dream if, like, one of these battles that were going on caused the medium tire runners to eat their tires, but I don't think there's a world where the medium tire runners, even with battling, don't get to the end of this race. I honestly... If I'm honest with you, Mono, I don't think that, I don't think that, points are possible. All of the cars that are not going to be pitting again, they're fast cars. I don't see a world where I overtake them. Never say never, but I don't see it happening. Ooh, Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton takes fastest lap of the race. Good for him. Also, Mono, wait, hang on, where's my camera? There it is. Yeah, you see my Star Trek collection I was showing you the other day. You understand, but it's a singular position rather than two. Yeah, it's certainly possible. It's certainly possible to become very, very, very close to it. I just don't see it actually happening, is all. But yeah, now with the change of camera angle from here looking backwards to here looking across, yeah, you can see my nice little nerdy Star Trek collection. Actually, wait, Alexa, display on. Ah, that still works. Oh, actually, that looks quite nice. I was worried that if I put those lights on behind, it would like really like drown out the visuals of me and cause a silhouette. But yeah, but they're still not discernible. Still like a sweet ice cream that sits behind glass. Yeah. Yeah, right. Alexa, display off. Fine. So Bottas is actually now becoming a problem. He has now caught up to within a second of Daniel Ricciardo, which is a smidgen of an issue. It's not an extreme issue, but it's a smidgen of an issue, I'll say. He's probably going to sail past because he is going for another stop again. You do like the new setup, both in front and behind the camera, and glad you're pleased with it. Yeah, it's quite nice.
Okay. Alrighty.
Because I kept on missing chat before, because like before I would be looking at a game and my chat window was over here, and it wasn't big enough to, you know, it wasn't discernible enough for me to notice it and then look to see it. But instead, my chat window is like, so my game's here, my chat window's just here. So all I have to do, like, I can see it very clearly in my peripheral vision. And all I have to do is, like, glance my eyes. And I can read chat now. So it's good. It's good. Fine, so Bottas did get past. We can use the DRS to follow him. As you can see, we've now got 20% tyre life advantage on these guys.
We're happy
So,
with tyres?
yeah, these guys are definitely going to have to pit again. And actually, we're starting to see Perez eat his tyres quite a fair bit, actually. To the point that I'm not that confident that Perez isn't going to have to pit again. I mean, 20 seconds is probably going to put him... So 24 seconds is going to put him out around Bottas's level.
And in front of you is Bottas.
Yeah, I don't... I think it's painfully close to points without us actually having any points. Ocon just took damage. Oh no, it's a mechanical fault. Huh, what happened there?
Okay, I have no power, guys.
Oh, no power. That sounds like an engine issue, perhaps? Maybe? Possibly? And Zhao is in the pit, so now we are starting to see some of these soft tire runners diving in for pits. Yeah, so I was quite confident that Norris and Perez were going to go until the end of this race. I'm confident that Norris can. I am not honestly very sure that Perez is going to be able to make it until the end of this race. I really don't think this is the case anymore. We're 15 laps to go. We are still holding on quite well to the back end of Bottas. Bottas is still absolutely munching tyre like nobody's business, and this allows us to use the DRS to try and catch up onto the back of Hülkenberg, which is definitely good. Definitely good. Oh, wait, whoa, I missed it. Ricardo got past? Was that, yeah, that was coming at the end of the DRS zone. Okay, I didn't have that one on my bingo card at all. Let's watch how that happened. I think this is just going to be a nice straightforward DRS pass. Indeed it is. We saw the tail end of the DRS closing there. Sneak down the inside, a little bit of wheel to wheel. That's absolutely fine. It's only not fine if the wheels come off.
Alrighty. Nice.
Nice. I wish you recorded more than one overtaking line for each driver. So, yeah. Okay. Alright, so we're starting to see some of the hard-tired cars dive into the pit lane here. I wonder if we'll see Bottas come in, that this takes the pressure off of Daniel Ricciardo just a little bit. And yeah, at the lead of this race, this is going to be absolutely fascinating to see if Perez comes in, because he ruins this race if he pits again, but then he probably ruins his race if he hits the cliff as well. So yeah, this is going to be absolutely fascinating. We see Valtteri Bottas having the DRS open, and that is going to be a fairly straightforward DRS pass. He isn't trying to conserve his tires in the same way that we are. I'm actually low-key, he is the lowest tire percentage driver, so I think he is going to dive into the pits this lap. So it'll be curious to see what Logan Sargent does with fresh rubber coming out of the pits. We'll really have to pay attention to that one. So Ricciardo is going to get the DRS here. He is going to steal his way down the inside. And are we going to see Valtteri Bottas come into the pit lane here? We might. But he stays out.
Good job.
He's getting dangerously close to the cliff. Dangerously close to the cliff. Interesting. We see Ocon dive in here. So when Logan Sargent runs out his lap, we will see what his times look like compared to Ricciardo. Because there is still a slight possibility that these guys who go onto the softer tires, if they do like, you know, maybe 3 seconds a lap faster than Ricciardo, 3 seconds is unlikely because that would put them at fastest lap territory. But that would allow them to really close up on the guys in front of them. So coming over the line, do we get a time? Oh no, okay, we don't get a time. Well, fuck me, I guess. Fine. So Bottas is still holding on to the back end of Daniel Ricciardo, but isn't really finding a way past. We're within 2 seconds of this now. Yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. I'm really the next 12 laps are going to be furiously interesting. Now, I am using fuel slightly faster than I thought I was going to be.
Bottas in your DRS.
So I may end up having to conserve fuel. And here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda is into the pits. So this is going to be a free place for Daniel Ricciardo. Valtteri Bottas, let's see what he does this lap. And he's coming into the pits as well. So that frees up Daniel Ricciardo. Hülkenberg is definitely going to have to stop again. They're going for another set of softs, which makes sense. We're still waiting to see what these new tire rubber guys do. Yeah, Hülkenberg is going to stop again, which is going to take us up into 11th place. Unfortunately, the gap between Russell and I is like 5 seconds. So I'm not really sure there's a world where I catch this up. I think what is really going to be interesting is where Perez comes out, because I still think Perez is going to come out probably between George Russell and Daniel Ricciardo. So depending on exactly, like, if Perez has, if Perez has a slow stop, then that could be really fascinating. Really fascinating. Okay, so these guys are coming back at 1 to 2 seconds a lap faster than Daniel Ricciardo. So with only 10 laps to go and a stop time being 24 seconds, I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think that is going to be enough for them to overtake cars and find a way past. Bottas has gone onto the mediums. Huh. That's an inspired choice. That is a really inspired choice. Okay, so next up in our order is Hülkenberg, who's either going to be pitting here. He does pit here. Curious. Curious. So with 10 laps to go, it's all eyes on Perez, really, to see if he can survive the end of this race on wounded tires. So Lando Norris with his soft tires is in the lead of this race, followed by Sergio Perez on a very watch and see set of soft tires. He just sneaks down the inside to take the lead of this race. Charles Leclerc is in third with Verstappen on his own in fourth place. Oscar Piastri is in fifth place, fighting off Carlos Sainz. Lewis Hamilton is on his own in 7th, with Stroll fighting off his teammate Alonso. George Russell is on his Starman in 10th place, with Ricciardo now up to 11th after the pit stop. Yuki Tsunoda is on a new set of soft tyres, and he is actually going to pose a risk to Daniel Ricciardo, because he's probably going to be 2 seconds faster than Ricciardo. Which is going to allow him to close down this distance probably before the end of this race. So that's going to be quite frustrating to have to deal with. The damaged Alexander Albon is in 13th, followed by Nico Hülkenberg on a fresh set of softs. Bottas is on his fresh set of mediums, and Gasly just finds his way up into 16th place, with the now damaged Iwasa in 17th. Ocon 18th from Sargent, Magnussen and Zhao, with Aerosmith being currently our only retiree of this race. So yeah, I have a fear that we are going to see a phenomenal lap time from Yuki Tsunoda here. And yet, with 10 laps to go, I don't think I see a world where Perez makes it to the end of this race. I really don't. I was on the fence before, but the soft tires generally go through 2 to 3% of their tire life per lap, unless you're on hardcore conserve. But even if it drops 1% per lap, I don't see a world where we get to the end of this, where Perez gets to the end of this race. So the question is, after 24 seconds, it puts him between 9th and 10th. Okay, fine. So because things have strung out quite a lot. Yuki Tsunoda is doing 2 seconds a lap faster, so he is going to catch us up within 3 laps, which means Daniel Ricciardo has 7 laps to defend. So when Tsunoda gets to the, in fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to We're going to go to balanced fuel
I'm
use
ready,
just
sorry, we
now.
need a bit of lift off where you can.
We're going to cool our engine. We're going to kill our engine, we're going to conserve our fuel use, and when Yuki Tsunoda gets to about a second and a half to go, we are going to send it with ERS, we're going to send it with fuel, we're not going to send it with tires, and we're going to see where we can get to before the end of this. Yeah, look at that. It's barely been one lap, and Perez has taken 3% out of the life of those tires, so... Yeah, Perez is definitely stopping again. Yuki Tsunoda right now on his fresh rubber is our threat. He is consistently doing 2 seconds a lap faster, so he's going to take one more lap to catch us up, and then in half a lap after that he is going to be absolutely sniffing our rear wing, which isn't necessarily the most ideal thing for us. So this is going to have to be a very spirited defense from Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah, I'm just looking at the tire use statistics. I don't think, yeah, the medium tire guys are definitely going to the end. Norris, I'm fairly confident can make it to the end. Perez is definitely stopping again. Perez is definitely stopping again. And Pierre Gasly's picked up a mechanical fault. Where's Gasly? Gasly's there, that's interesting. I don't really care enough. I don't really care enough to see what it is. Okay, here we go. Let's eat ERS and let's once again push with our fuel use. Because Yuki Tsunoda is now within a second. He is now within DRS zone. Here. So let's do what we can to try and keep him behind. The more tire use that we force him to use to keep him behind us, then the better this is going to be. He may try and sneak down the inside here, and actually he does. I maybe should have used the ERS a bit earlier than that one. Can Daniel Ricciardo keep within DRS range? If we could get back in front of him...
Yep. This is my pace.
This would be huge. Oh, he thinks about the inside, but that doesn't work. And Tsunoda sets the fastest lap of this race. Wow, okay, I can't argue with losing the position to that. Fastest lap of the race, wow. He is probably going to end up leaving us for dust here. And I can't massively be too mad about it. Yep, he has. He's left us for dust. Okay.
You focus on your race.
Well then, there we go. So Iwasa is in the pit again. And Perez is about to hit the cliff here. And he dives into the pits. He does dive into the pits. Yeah, this is a horrible time for the ad break because we're in the closing stages of this here race. God damn it. Okay, where is he going to come out? It's a good stop from Perez. He's got the whole pit lane still to go. And Albon's mechanical fault, I think, is terminal. I think it's gone terminal. Now, can he make it back to the pits, or is he going to stop on track? He seems to still be going. But yeah, no breakdown on track. Yeah, I think he is going to make it back to the pits. If indeed he does make it back to the pits, he might not actually pit. No, he's staying out. He is staying out. Okay, this is huge. What is happening to Albon's car?
And
Jesus.
yeah, a terminal failure. Absolutely gutting.
It's not that terminal. He's still going. But this is interesting because this race could still finish behind the safety car, which is... And yeah, oh, okay. So we can no longer use any more fuel.
Give us more lift off, please.
Understood.
I'm actually going to top up ERS. So as we can see, Tsunoda has used so much of his tires. Yeah, if he keeps this up, this is going to be quite interesting. Perez came out 6th, which actually isn't too bad for Perez. Okay. As we said, it came tantalizingly close to points. But, yeah, I doubt it was ever going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see Alexander Albon, though, because... yeah, he may actually break down on track if this issue becomes, like, just completely gridlocked. S2 will be a point season. Hey, we've got points this season, Mono. We've got points this season. I can't argue with our performance too far, but because before the game absolutely broke down on me, it took us to much later in the season before we started seeing points, so I'm quite happy with our performance so far. So Hulkenberg behind is doing 2 seconds a lap faster than us, but at 10 seconds adrift, it's going to take him 5 seconds, so he could still be a threat towards the end of the race. But for just now, I think we are generally okay. And now I'm quite curious to see how this goes, because having been so confident that Lando Norris was going to finish this race without another pit stop, I actually think that I'm going to be the only soft tire car to not double stop. Which I still think was the right call. I know that we have lost a place to Yuki Tsunoda, but yeah, I still think it's the right call, because I wouldn't have been able to stay competitive with those cars in a double stop strategy. My advantage has come from not losing those 24 seconds for another pit stop. Yeah, Norris is stopping again. Norris is definitely stopping again. It's either this lap or next, but he's stopping again. Probably this lap. Because he's going to lose this to Charles Leclerc. And I think, barring further incident or accident, this is going to see Charles Leclerc win this race, I think. Verstappen is too far behind, and Sainz is definitely too far behind. In fact, Sainz might lose what will eventually become third place to Perez, who stopped for his fresher rubber. So Albon, to me, reported as having 2 terminal faults, but is still going. And here we go, Lando Norris has hit the cliff, so he is holding up Charles Leclerc now. Damn, son. Look at that Formula 1 car. I was gonna say I want to try and get a nice one of these guys racing away. Yeah, I don't think this game truly understands what terminal in terminal error means, terminal fault means. It means park it up or break down on track, but the fact that Albon's still going is a bit curious. Russell and Tsunoda are side by side for 10th place, and I actually want Russell to win here, because Tsunoda not getting any points is absolutely ideal, and also if they two can keep slowing each other up, that would also be fantastic. And Norris is indeed in the pit, so where does he come out in comparison to Perez? So Perez is going to come around this corner. So Norris is relegated to 4th, Perez goes up into 3rd, 6th. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to come out in front of Hamilton. Yeah, he comes out right behind his teammate Oscar Piastri, and with a fresher set of soft tyre, yeah, Norris is going to have no qualms at all about absolutely burning rubber to get past his teammate. He will probably get onto the back of Perez to fight him for 3rd place before this race is out. And for just now, for once, the top runners are pretty well sorted. So Leclerc in 1st, 5 seconds ahead of Verstappen, who is 8 seconds ahead of Perez, who is 3 seconds ahead of Sainz. Piastri is 1.5 seconds behind in 5th, but about to get rapidly overtaken by Lando Norris. Hamilton is on his own in 7th place, with Alonso 8th, fighting off his teammate Lance Stroll, and indeed losing the place to Lance Stroll, coming out of the first DRS zone. George Russell is 0.5 second behind Yuki Tsunoda, who is trying to hold on to the last points place in 10th place, and Daniel Ricciardo is 10 seconds adrift. Hulkenberg is 6 seconds adrift of Ricciardo, with Bottas 2 seconds behind. The damaged Gasly 10 seconds adrift of him, with the terminal Gasly 6 seconds behind that. 6 seconds behind is Ocon, and then Sargent is 18th, then Magnussen, Zhao and Iwasa. So that's how the race order shapes up just now, and we can see Hülkenberg hunting us down. Absolutely hunting us down. Right now we are just trying to hold our own, trying to let Hülkenberg burn his rubber best we can. You mean consistently, right? That makes a little bit more sense there, Mono. That makes a little bit more sense. So if I've got 3 laps to go.
Okay.
Oh, 4 more laps, apparently. God damn it, the crash had to happen to one car, shame that it had to happen to mine. So I think we're going to learn our lesson from before, and when we get to 3 laps to go, we're going to start burning the resources that we, 3 seconds behind. We're going to start burning the resources that we have to try and keep Hülkenberg behind. Because we, a second and a half, we were too late to stop Tsunoda keeping behind us. But we need to see what we can do here. We're quite slow compared to people like Russell. But yeah, we'll need to see how this goes. Let's keep an eye on this fight. Well, it's not really a fight for third place. As I predicted, Norris did get past Sainz and is behind Perez. It's now going to be up to Norris to try and hunt down Perez, who is 8 seconds ahead of him. This is going to be a hard ask while fighting off of a Ferrari, but I think, barring an incident, that Leclerc and Verstappen are secure in their 1 and 2 positions. Gasly's mechanical faults have worsened, which is interesting. Fine. Let's keep our eyes on Daniel Ricciardo, and we're just going to time skip through this. So we're within the 3 second mark. With Hülkenberg is still pulling 2 seconds a lap faster than Ricciardo. And here we go, we're at 2 seconds. So Daniel Ricciardo,
Oh, you can use the replay.
shake what your mama gave ya. Alright, we're gonna go up to light tire use rather than conserve. And Perez has now set the fastest lap with a 1:36. He is actually right on the back of Max Verstappen. I did not expect him to close down that 7 second gap, but yet it has happened. And with Max Verstappen rapidly approaching the cliff on his tires, we're going to see Perez just sail past. Not even... oh no, it was at the end of a DRS zone. So yeah, huge for Sergio Perez to take second of this race. And it is now going to be down to Lando Norris to hunt down Max Verstappen, who is rapidly approaching the cliff. Might be some interesting finale to this one. I don't think we are going to do better than 12th, but we could potentially do worse than 12th. We just have to see how Hülkenberg goes. So right now we are using our ERS, we are using our spare fuel, and we have upped our tyre use to try and maintain this gap to Nico Hülkenberg and force him to use his tyres to keep ahead of us. So we are now equal in lap time, although I don't have any more fuel spare.
Okay, and let's do a small lift off.
I don't have any more fuel spare, so we're going to come off of this one. And we're just going to keep burning ERS until the end of the race to see if we can keep on ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. And see what the script is. So our lap time is now comparable, and the leader is now on to the last lap. So Charles Leclerc is on to his last and final lap, and our driver is on the last lap. So let's go to aggressive tyre use, because we don't need to save the tyres anymore. We do not need to save the tyres anymore. And wow, Perez so fast on his newer set of softs. Not only has he got the fastest lap of this race, he is now on the final lap, right onto the gearbox of Charles Leclerc. Let's see what he can do. Is he now coming to the first of 3 start-finish DRS zones. Sorry, 3 start-finish race doesn't make any sense. He goes for the inside line with his DRS wide open. He is going to get the place to resume the lead of this race. It's going to be all on Charles Leclerc with his older and harder rubber to try and steal it from him, using this big long DRS zone. So this is going to rely on Charles Leclerc getting a good run out of here, and the back marker of Zhao is potentially going to cause havoc with this. We'll need to see. Zhao tries to move over, but thankfully doesn't. Leclerc's rear wing opens, and Perez got the DRS. He got the DRS from the back marker, and that is going to allow him to absolutely secure the lead of this race. So Perez, it is, having stopped in the final 12 laps, is going to come around the final corner to take the lead of this race, take the checkered flag. Max Verstappen is going to come around the corner in 3rd.
Perez has crossed the line first.
To round out the podium, Carlos Sainz will take 5th. And indeed he does. The only other battle that we've got is Yuki Tsunoda having caught up to the back of Fernando Alonso coming out of the final DRS zone. He does take that 9th place, which is great for Yuki Tsunoda. It is not good for Hibble F1, unfortunately. And they're going to come around the final corner onto the start-finish straight for Yuki Tsunoda to take the checkered flag in 9th place, with Alonso in 10th, Russell in 11th as they cross the line, and our Daniel Ricciardo to take 12th place, having maintained that 2-second gap to Nico Hülkenberg.
Confirmed, we're happy with the tires.
Thank the giddy goose. So Ricciardo takes 12th place,
Okay, we'll take the
Hülkenberg
flag.
13th, Bottas will take 14th, Gasly limps around to 15th, Albon limps around to 16th, then Sargent, Ocon, Magnussen, and Zhao and Iwasa were a lap down, and Raven Aerosmith unfortunately was a non-finisher this race. Good game, Ricciardo. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. GG's for Ricciardo. So, there we have it.
Sometimes I think you just have to accept that it's not going to be your race.
So that's Aerosmith.
This really
You
is
can
gonna
tell
be
by the
an
titties.
incredible disappointment for them, a retirement and an opportunity missed.
No stranger to the podium, the Mexican driver now takes his place after another remarkable race.
So this unfortunately means I'm going to have to
And that's
rebuild
win
her
number
car.
1 of the season, and
which
it's
is a bit
sure to
unfortunate.
provide them with a real confidence boost.
But meh, we can make it work. God, he looks so
And
fucking
after a hot,
chubby in
sweaty
this.
Miami Grand Prix, I think this is as good a time as any to cool off.
Perez is packing the puppy fat, folks. You know, I don't know if there's something wrong with the
Valkyrie,
graphics settings, but
how do you
everyone
think
looks
they'll be
slightly
feeling in the team garage
everything
at the
looks
end of
slightly
that?
choppy, which I
It was
don't
a
like.
strangely mixed weekend for them. We
I've
saw
still got
one
60
driver
frames
put
per
in a strong
second, but
performance,
meh.
but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
There we go. There's my X
And
on the
with that,
page
our weekend in
for
Miami now draws to a
Aerosmith
close.
dying.
Now the teams will be looking ahead to Imola, where the season progresses with the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Get ready
Emilia-Romagna.
for some fierce competition.
He struggled with that one. Okay, so rounding out today's event, we see... Yeah, so Sergio Perez won the race with quite a good strategy. Daniel Ricciardo gained 4 places to finish in 12th, and unfortunately Aerosmith shat the bed and crashed under wet conditions. In the Drivers' Championship, we see no change at the top, but in 4th place, we see Sergio Perez replacing Carlos Sainz for 4th place. Down at the potato end of the grid, there is no change. In the Constructor World Championship, Red Bull extend their lead, RB, not Red Bull, RB, actually, no, well, starting from the top, Red Bull do take a tentative lead in the Constructors World Championships by just 4 points over Ferrari. Team RB Racing gain 2 points to extend their gap over Alpine, but otherwise, there is no change of position. We are still 9th place, which is good for us, because that is what we're trying to hold on to. X as opposed to F. Yeah, X. The X just means I don't have to worry about it anymore. So... in the top 10 fastest pit stop, we once again do not feature. So in the fastest pit stop championship, we have 9 points. Sauber gains 2 places to take 9th place. We're still 8th. And we only made 1 pit stop under racing conditions, and both of them were pretty shit, all things considered. So we need to work on that one. So Daniel Ricciardo finished 12th, which meant his target of 18th of higher was reached. Aerosmith unfortunately shat the bed, so we only get 400,000 as a race bonus.
Could go easy on the team kills.
This spark.
Just saying.
Oh my god.
Are you fucking serious?
Why the fuck did they get here?
What's happening? Oh. What the fuck? You fucking bitch! Oh, here he is. Ka-chow!
Get your dilly vegetables.
Strawberry isn't a vegetable, you fucking mortal!
Let's go! Come on! Yeah! Oh!
But I'm looking down to plant the bomb.
Yeah, but he could. Okay, okay. Just because you can't see it. Oh! You can say if you want to, you can fuck a hooker. Are we ready for the flesh?
Are you ready for Tony Hawk's Pro Flesh Tunnel?
Throttle down, throttle up.
You're a wanker. Okay, I'm.
Oh! Fuck!
What does the army say?
Fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck!
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
I literally can't move.
I'm spawned in the barrel of water.
You're really fast, and I am very good with ropes. That came out badly. Shut up.
We waited all this fucking time for you to download the game, and you fucking get yourself banned.
Doesn't hit as hard as life does.
Jesus Christ, that was
Okay.
deep. Who hurt you? Shit.
Say the word exterminate.
Just up, down, there, right behind you, up the stairs. There we go.
No, that's my character! Oh, I got it, I got it. Ah! Fuck! Fudge! Oh lord, he's right there! What? Stop the zombie apocalypse, I want to talk about battle steamers. What are you doing, aircraft? Fuck, I'm dead. Not good, not good, not good.
Why is it a planter in the fucking hallway?
Well, because that's what I'm gonna do with my fucking plants, innit? Come cannon! Fucking die!
But he talks more like this. No, wait, that's not right. Choity-matoity-woities. That's.
There's a cooker! Oh lord! Oh yes! I shuriken the lights out of that!
Why have I been sent to prison?
Oh, holy fuck! That motherfucker just sank the bus.
Do you have any idea how many broken bones you have?
I'm a jellyfish.
Fuck! Fuck! Fucking dumbass.
God damn it!
Absolute fucking.
Why did that not go through?
Cause you suck. What the moon doing? Bitch, I can't be outnumbered. I don't know how to count.
That's a fucking threat. Okay.
Then beat them the balloon. Oh, I thought you were gonna hit us up with the Roger Roger in that voice.
Roger, Roger.
Speed sign. Fucking hard mode.
Ah, you bitch!
Ah, okay, that's no bueno. This is no bueno. This is very no bueno. Alright, let's just abandon.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Oh! Can we handbrake this with all the people inside? Oh, fuck yeah, we can. Fuck yeah.